That don't feel good.
Doesn't look good. I was going to say, do you mind if we say it doesn't look good?
We made it to Tasmania.
I literally was having like a panic attack just watching that. Oh my god.
That was the worst. That was absolutely terrifying. Oh, that's the worst track I've ever done in my life. Well, what's the best way to get it out?
Shoot it. burn the car. Don't lose it. Ow! Ow! Don't come near me.
Now get a video of it.
Yeah, just stay there. I can zoom in.
Stay there, I can zoom in.
Yuck.
Hi, mate.
Kayla was getting ready in the car and I spotted a massive spider. I wish I got on video you freaking out.
I didn't freak out.
Hey Kai.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the moment that the spider attacked on Instagram?
Where is it? Where is it?
Up there.
Oh. What do you mean?
And there's Kayla's face.
What?
After the major spider emergency, we packed up our camp that we had there to ourselves for the night out in the middle of the bush. Beautiful spot. And we headed towards Douglas Apsley National Park. First stop of the day is Douglas Apsley River National Park, not too far behind the town of Bicheno. It's just like a two-wheel drive dirt road out to here. There's awesome river and swimming hole down there. Initial thoughts?
Gorgeous.
We didn't hang around too long, but had a quick swim and relaxed there in that pristine water, and then we continued on our way on our adventure.
It's raining! Oh my god. Ah, get me back here. Get.
We've headed north up the coast, and then we've headed inland through past St Mary's and out to, what's it say here, the Avenue River Forest Reserve. We're heading out onto Avenue River tonight. Tim, who came with us earlier on this Tassie trip, has given me a location for a bit of a track out here to a awesome river campsite that he's recommended and shown me a couple of pictures of. So I'm making our way out through to that now. It's kind of like nearly high country out here. These thin, rocky ridgeline tracks. Nothing too steep yet, but a few little descents and ascents. But we can see the river down through there now, so we're not far away. We're only probably a kilometre away or so.
Make that jump.
No.
Do it.
Seriously?
I don't know, you gotta do what people say you can't do.
Okay, I'll do it then. I'll try.
Dude, I wish I was filming that. Try it again.
Seriously?
Yeah, you can make it this time. You got more practice.
I'm not gonna make it! I'm not gonna...
We've found a little bit of a spot out here on the Avenue River, but the river is pretty much dried up. There's still a few holes of water in the river. We've kind of parked up next to one here. It is still fresh. It's not stagnant. It's obviously flowing under the rocks, but only just. It's pretty much just like a dry riverbed for hundreds of meters with the odd hole along it. Anyways, it's good to be out here, not a bad little track in, and then yeah, it would have been nicer if the river was flowing a bit more, but we'll still set up here for the night. Packed up and left our camp this morning. We tried to get out there a reasonable hour, about 9 o'clock we left. The sun is shining today, so hopefully we get some sun in somewhere at a swimming hole or waterfall or something. Heading up out of this track now, heading north out the other way up towards Pyengana. I wouldn't have a clue how to say that word, but up towards the pub in the paddock and St Columba Falls and the Jeep Track. It's pretty unreal drive out of here. It's really like a high country feel, these sort of ridgeline, rocky, steep tracks. Not too steep, but you know, low range. But we'll keep going and try and get out of here and head up to Pyengana, whatever it's called, something like that. After we came out of the Avenue River, we headed towards Pub in the Paddock. Famous little pub there, awesome spot to stop, check out. We had some lunch, had a drink, and then we attempted to give some beer to Priscilla, which is the pig that lives there. Here comes the pig for its beer. Got a beer, hold up your beer. Beer for the pig.
Also, guys, we discovered the secret. It's actually water.
Secret exposed.
Hey, you want some water? Got you some water. Do you want some beer or not? What do you mean?
Oh, doesn't want it. Oh my, it's 20 to 30 minutes return.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Are you serious?
Let's get out of here. Claimed to be the highest falls in Tasmania with a drop of 90 metres. So when we went to Montezuma Falls, that wasn't even the highest.
So this...
Oh, what a waste of time that was going there. There's the waterfall.
No, let's just cut through the goddamn bit.
Alright, we've seen it, let's go.
Excellent.
The next stop of the day on our exploration of the area was the almighty St Columba Falls. It is one of the tallest waterfalls in Tasmania and pumps out just a massive amount of water. 42,000 litres of water per minute on average comes down. We decided to brave a swim there in the freezing cold water before continuing on our way. We follow that road up past St Columba Falls up to the start of the Pyengana. How'd you say that word? Pyengana Jeep Track. So up near the start of the Jeep Track, and we've taken a side track down these beautiful open paddocks and plains here. It's 10 past 4, so we're just gonna call it a day there and set up here for the night and take on the Jeep Track in the morning. The Jeep Track's about 7-ish k's I think, but you know, it might take 2-3 hours to get through it or something rather than pushing on through the night. We got a beautiful camp spot here. You excited for the Jeep Track tomorrow morning?
Probably not.
In the start of this Tassie trip, like I had big days. Like those days we were doing Clymies and Balfour and Lake Cumberland and all that, filming all day, like packing up, setting up camp, looking after the car, everything else. Like I exhausted myself in the first 10 days of this trip and I was like worn out. So it is nice to take it these days, taking a little bit easier, you know, setting up camp a bit earlier at like 4 o'clock and then just relaxing here for the arvo. Like, they were awesome days, absolutely loved them, but yeah, I was up at 6, 7 in the morning organising things today, and then I wasn't going to bed till nearly midnight backing up footage and everything from the day, so I was pretty worn out. But this would definitely have to be one of the better camp spots of the trip. Not a soul in sight. Nice big open grassy area and beautiful freshwater streams. I'm also going to plug this solar blanket in, given it's only sort of 4:30. We still got, what's that, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. We still got about 4 hours of light left. It is cloudy, but it'll still get charged even in the clouds. The battery is about 12.5. Max is about 12.8, I think. I've been using that inverter a bit today, and that inverter does use a fair bit of power. I can bring it down to about 12, but Kayla wants to straighten her hair after, and I need to charge my laptop, plus I need to charge camera gear, so I wouldn't get through the night, I don't think. So I've plugged this in. That'll sort of give me a few hours of charge while we charge all this stuff up, then it'll be fully charged up. But it's so easy, like this, so that's in behind the back seat, and I just pull it out, got an extension lead on, and then you just lay it out towards the sun. The weather can't make up its mind. It's been in and out of raining for the last couple of hours. The sun will come out and then it'll be raining again, but we set up the sidewall for the awning so it's nice and cozy under there. I actually really like that thing, and Kai gets to sleep out in the rain. Started absolutely pouring at about 2 AM last night. It hasn't stopped since. It's getting very wet. You can see that creek that we camped next to is gone all dirty and risen half a foot. We just packed up our swag to get a bit of space under the awning, and then we'll have to try and get some brekkie organised under here. And ready for the Jeep Track in the pouring rain.
I'm not getting out of the car to help you winch. You got the sweat, mate.
Really good. Really difficult. Hey Carl, they should call it the waterfall track because there's a freaking waterfall at the start of the track. I don't even know if we can get up this waterfall.
Just go around.
That's silly.
Can't get up.
To the top of the waterfall, because it's the 200-metre walk. We're like, screw that.
So we're stuck.
Yep. Good job.
Yeah, real good.
Good job, girl. Good job going up the waterfall.
So this is the start of the Jeep Track, and the main road's right there.
Yeah, we're stuck.
And that's it.
Okay, we're going to drive past and take photos and make fun of
Are you
us.
serious?
I should have gone a bit faster. I was bellied out. It's going nowhere.
Yeah, the tyres like aren't even on the ground. God, what a loser. We're literally, how many metres off the main road do you think we are?
Like 2.
2 metres off the main road.
So many people came past and took photos of us and said loser.
Tyler Thompson, loser.
I need the winch controller and Bluetooth. Bring inside that middle console there. Good start to the track. You know how I said, like, you said you wouldn't help?
I'm not getting out of the car to help you win.
I kind of need your help. Because what's going to happen is it's going to pull me up into the hole, and then I'm going to fall in a big hole, and I need to drive out, so I need you to pull the winch rope out of the way. You're going to have to hop out the window.
Are you serious?
Your door won't open, you're up against the bank. So we're literally 5 metres off the road, the start of the Jeep Track, and there's a track around it, but I wanted to go up it. up over that little crest down to a mud and then out, and I didn't give enough speed and the car just bellied out and it just like stopped, and that was it. Alright, grab that winch rope now and I'll drive a bit quick, so you'll have to pull quick. Now I just had to pull it up off its belly. Now Kayla's going to grab that winch rope and pull it as I drive. And we're out. Now we'll start the track. Well, we got past the first 10 metres of the track in the first 20 minutes. The track's about 7k, so that puts us about 4 days out here. Perfect. Anyways, it's probably a dumb idea to do this track today, but I can't come all the way out here and not do it. I've heard it's not too hard. Tim says it's not too bad, but there's literally like a waterfall running down the track today from all the rain, so that could change things up a little bit, but we'll see what happens. We're made to our first sort of rutted out hill climb. It's not super steep, but just like the track is just chewed out big time, and it's got big ruts. They just straight up the middle, very bumpy through them, like logs and rocks, so I can't really use speed, otherwise I'll just bash the car. It is wet out here, but the surface is slippery, but not like that ridiculously slippery stuff. So just first gear low range, rear locker in, and just try and crawl and see what happens. With the 33s I got a decent amount of clearance. Oh, that doesn't feel nice.
I think this feels a bit better. I love this feeling.
Oh my goodness.
I love this feeling. It feels great.
What's happened here? Am I in the bank or what? It's on the reverse camera, the rear bar just chewing in. I needed to commit then. I got a bit too concerned. I backed off. I've got myself in a pickle now. The rear bar's buried into the back there. I can't go back. And the front's just jammed up and I can't go forwards. I need to swing, I don't know. I could have just stayed to the rudder. I needed to commit to get to that high line, but yeah, I'm gonna have to winch now. I'm just relying fully on the winch pull here, because if I try and drive, the car's gonna slip down into that rut. If I just hold a straight pull with no drive, it'll hopefully pull those wheels up on this flat ground here and not fall down in that rut, which it does seem to be working. We weren't far into the track. We'd already had to winch twice. The rain was getting heavier. It was looking like we could be in for a long day out there. Oh man, it is wet out here today. Definitely are slipping and sliding a little bit. The Jeep Track is only a short drive, but just packed with fun obstacles to negotiate. And it's a beautiful drive up the mountain there with a thick rainforest all around you. soon as we made it up past like that hill climb, that went for ages up through the bush there. A lot of holes and ruts to contend with. You either want a decent amount of suspension travel or a locker. Like in my old car, that would have been a nightmare, I think, or a lot more winching, probably 2 or 3 more winches trying to get past those holes. Yeah, soon it was starting to flatten out a bit now. We're starting to get to some more like muddy bits, but they're just shallow and easy going so far. Just looks like they're filled up with a foot of water from last night's rain. This is that big mud hole you always see in the videos to navigate. You can go straight down the middle and drown your car from what I've seen, or come over the side here. So we'll just pick a path through this mud. This is a bit of a navigate the high line around the mud hole on this one. I find that, you tell me if we're falling. I normally find that with mud holes, if there's a track around them, then it's often for a reason. They're a nasty mud hole. But if there's no track around them, normally they're negotiable. So those first couple, you know, weren't too bad. Whereas this one, I think, if you went down in there, you'd be in all sorts. So that's why they've got a track around it here. After that last big mud hole you go around the side of, you come back out on like a main gravel road, which does take you back to the main road. So cruise along that for a bit, and then you got a side track off which follows it, which is the last sort of, I don't know, maybe K of the Jeep track. So come along that now. So we'd do the last bit, but I hit a couple of big mud holes here, but they're not too bad. Looks like if you stick a right line on both of them, you'll kind of stay out of that middle deep bit. Want to be double sure when you're picking high lines on mud holes, because if you fall down in sideways, you're in all sorts of trouble. There's a rut in the middle there, so if I stick this side of the rut and then over there, I can't really see a problem, because that rut will stop me slipping down in here where it's deeper and softer. Jeep Track. What'd you think? Have fun? Now I've hit a main dirt road and we're going to, the sun is actually, a bit of wind blowing up in the mountains. Hopefully it's not so windy down the coast, but I'm going to have to air up these tyres at some stage. But hit a main dirt road and we're going to make the drive down into St Helens now, and then from there we're going to head up to the Bay of Fires. It ended up taking us maybe 2.5 hours, not quite 2.5 hours to do that track, but 2 hours without those 2 inches, and probably another half hour, 45 minutes less without running the chem around everywhere. That's really time consuming. That nearly doubles the time of the track. So I'd say if you didn't winch, you just drove that track, you'd do it in a little bit over an hour. We ended up coming into St Helens and we did a bit of a restock there. We got fuel, we did some grocery shopping, and actually at St Helens at the main park there, the public toilets have hot showers. You can pay $2 per 3 minutes. Kayla's not impressed because she had a shower and hers was cold, but then when I had a shower, mine was hot. And we come straight out of St Helens, north of St Helens, through to Bay of Fires area, and there's like the whole coastline here is littered with campsites, and we've come in and picked one, and we've got a nice beachfront spot here. The water is so clear. This little bay we're at is protected a fair bit. That's why I picked here, because we've got a big northwesterly blowing at the moment. There is quite a bit of seaweed in this bay, but there's other beachfront spots along here. They're beautiful on the beach.
Today we have cooking with Kayla and Kai, and we're making pesto pasta with.
Look at the camera.
We're making pesto pasta with.
Oh, yeah.
Making pesto pasta with.
Kayla.
Yeah. Kai and Kayla, and we're making pesto pasta. Ingredients are.
Look at the outfit I'm wearing.
Yeah, the ingredients
I'm
are.
wearing a towel.
We have mushroom.
Make sure you look at the camera when you're talking.
We have mushroom, broccoli, capsicum, onion, sofa, and peas.
And pasta.
Yeah, and pasta.
What has been your favourite part of the trip so far?
I really liked last night's campsite
That was good.
before the downpour of rain.
Before it started pouring from 2 AM till about 11 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, I've enjoyed all aspects of the camp trip thus far.
And including the Jeep Track?
Not the Jeep Track. That was my least favourite part.
It's your co-host Kai going with the cooking show.
Yeah, I fired him.
You're helping a lot with the cooking, Kai?
Yeah, I was putting it all in, and what am I supposed to do now?
Oh, stir it.
Well, yeah, I was asking for a stirrer.
Are you cold?
No, I was asking for a stirrer.
Why are you under the...
Shut up! I was asking for a stirrer, but no one gave me one.
Guess it's cooking with Kayla now. Where we've been the last couple of days, that's where we went to pub in the paddock. St Columba Falls, up there to Ralph's Falls, then we came back, and then the Jeep Track we did this morning runs along out through here. We just followed these main dirt roads all the way back into St Helens, where we sorted ourselves out in there, and then we've come back along up here at the start of this Bay of Fires area. We're kind of probably this last campsite where we are now. How's cooking with Kai going?
He's come back.
Let's come back to tip some peas in. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you let it open.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey Kai, what's been your favourite part of the trip so far?
Eating frozen peas.
Cool. Anything else?
Don't.
What?
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Don't.
You don't have to say anything. Just stir for a sec. Thoughts on this spot?
Yep, pretty nice.
Excuse me, camera's on. Camera's on. Camp here tonight, and then tomorrow we'll... Oh, I don't need to say that. Here we go, Kai, the big moment you've been waiting for. Tassie Devils.
They're gonna attack us. They're going to attack.
Yes.
Some food.
You're screwed now, Kai.
There you go, mate. Have a rain.
They're coming in from everywhere. Uh-oh. We're under attack. Oh, so these are, that's because I was wondering how they stay there. So these are real rehabilitated injured males. It says they were injured and they've been rehabilitated and they wouldn't survive in the wild because they can't fly. Do you know that the Tasmanian devil is only found in Tasmania? Here's the big moment, here's what we came to see.
Look, it has its prey.
And there's nothing in here.
So that's why they're really important to the ecosystem. 25 kilo piece of steak. They really can pack it in.